Greetings, Tony from Old River Hard Goods again. That was a short clip you watched at the beginning there of a pretty wicked thunderstorm that rolled through here on Saturday afternoon, which would be a welcome relief at this point from this nasty cloud of wildfire smoke that's covered most of the eastern part of the United States. And I did take a week off from making videos last week. I'm not making any money on these videos. You might see YouTube throwing commercials on them, but I ain't making any money on them, and I just had to focus on other things. So this week's video is going to be just a little different format-wise. I'm going to start off with a flea market segment, then go into a couple of the more unusual tools that came with that batch of tools, and then finish up with a couple more flea market segments. So I hope you learned something, so sit back and enjoy. Well, the regular flea markets have been pretty light the past week or so, but I did have one of my 5-minute flea market adventures. This guy and I were supposed to hook up about a month ago, but his travel schedule and my schedule didn't quite line up. But we finally hooked up yesterday, and I got some pieces off of him. A couple of them I already cleaned up, a couple of them already sold, but we'll go through the pile anyways. First off, there's 3 Archimedean drills. This one's got the standard square chuck. These two have twist bit chucks. This one's got a nice lignum vitae pad. I'm awake. This one's a Goodell Pratt. Those you don't see too often. A couple of hammers, a double-faced one. That's also got a mark or something on it, but I can't read it. A Warrington peen jointer's hammer. It's also signed. Gotta get the crud off of that. A little jeweler's machinist tap. It's got some patina, but it does have all the heads in it, which is something you don't see too often. Hopefully I'm not jumping around too much. 3 vices. This one's a hand vice. It's dated 1944 with the British Army broad arrow mark on it. Oh, there's one with some history. A sweet little armorer's or jeweler's vice. Again, not a very common tool, and just another hand vice here. I didn't see a maker's mark on it. Got 4 saw rests for sharpening saws. This one has the tip for doing split nuts. At least it was partially modified for that. A couple of them have a little patina. That one's signed. Can't read it from this distance, and this one has the fence or the stop on it. Those don't show too often. And last in the pile is this ultimatum style mortising gauge. English. Points are good on it. It's got a couple minor issues, but these are really nice and collectible tools, to say the least. And you don't see too many of them around here unless somebody's imported it from England and you're paying all that extra freight. So, pretty good pile of stuff to keep me busy for the next few days. I recently had these 3 Archimedean drills come into the shop, and I figured I would do a video on these and some of the other types of drills that are not very commonly found. The first one up here is one of the older style ones. The chuck on this one has a square, it takes a square tanged bit. And simple spiral operation. Just move the slide up and down, the knob rotates. The types of bits would be a spade or diamond point bit like this, although the tang on this one's for a regular chuck, but they were available in different sizes. And if you find a set of bits for these guys, they're oftentimes, complete sets are worth more than the whole drill itself, but like I'm fond of saying, they are about as scarce as octopus feathers. And the pad on this one is, I believe, mahogany. Okay, you can see the right color to it. Don't know what the slider is. There's lead or poured pewter for it to ride on the shaft here. And it's a, it's a neat tool, a collectible. They're getting hard to come by, that's for sure. Next one doesn't have any kind of maker's mark on it. Got the wooden sliding handle. This one has a standard twist drill chuck to it. The slider, again, not sure of the wood, looks like maple. This one has steel plates screwed on it. And the pad is lignum vitae. Kind of pretty. And the last one here is a Goodell Pratt. And this has the Herbert Langfair patent 54411, issued August 13, 1895 for this style of chuck. And again, that's one of those patents that maybe not well known, but it is probably one of the most endearing ones considering how many hundreds of thousands of tools were produced using the patent on this chuck. And this one again also is in pretty good shape. A little wear to the finish on the slider and some things on the knob, but it's got most of it. And hey, Goodell Pratt stopped making tools back in the 1930s. Yep, blip. But, puts this guy close to 90, at least 90 years old. So these are getting, like I said, they're getting hard to find. I was lucky to grab these, and even luckier they turn out to be in better shape than I'd hoped. So, but that's the first part of this little discussion. And here we have a couple other examples of the style of drill that I've had over the years. One on the left was pretty neat. I don't know if that was user crafted or manufactured, kind of hard to tell. Instead of a twisted spiral shaft, it had a twisted wire, steel wire shaft. The slider and the pad were brass, and it had the square tang type chuck on it. Very, very uncommon tool. And the one on the right also had the square tang chuck. That one actually came with a bit. Pretty bits of, I don't remember if that was rosewood or walnut or mahogany. It's been too many years, but again, really gorgeous and really collectible tools. And also in that batch of tools I got were 4 saw setting rests. Now this is one of those tools that very often gets misidentified by the so-called tool sellers on eBay. But it is a tool that's been around for a very long time, and it's surprising how many people don't even understand or appreciate its use. And basically what you do, it's got these notches of different widths sawn into the edge, and you simply select one to fit, boom, boom, do this here, over the tooth, and then you give it just a very slight twist to set it. Now normally you'd have your saw sitting on something a little more substantial than this Mickey Mouse rig, but it does the job. And I've had some really nice hand forged examples over the years. A lot of these for setting bigger saws, but these are really good collectible tools, and for the most part underappreciated. I did sell the other ones that I had. The one had, as you saw, a brass fence on it. The one had a screwdriver tip. Those show up sometimes, but not too often. And this one, I'm guessing, is probably pre-World War II as far as age, so it's not super old. You see some really fancy ones out there as well. So just another great collectible tool. Does insanity run in your family? No, it just gets up at 3:45 a.m. to go on flea market runs. And after the heavy rain we had on Saturday evening, it was a balmy 42 degrees there this morning, prompted me, for the first weekend in June to be walking around wearing gloves. But what are you going to do, right? Pickings were pretty decent, though. Up top is a 10-inch Dunlap draw knife that somebody replaced the handles on, did a fairly good job of. A hand-forged draw knife, curved blade on it. The handles are a little funky on that. A super, super nice Miller Falls number 41, patent 1899, if I remember correctly, screwdriver in really nice shape. I had to pay some money for that one, but you don't find them like that very often. Hey, neat. Let me get over on this side here. Looks like a user-crafted toothing plane. Not sure what kind of wood that is, but that is sure one pretty tool, and the blade's fairly decent. A nicely hand-forged clinch and anvil. 3 more dingle stocks. I guess I really should get that video done on those so I can start cleaning some of these guys up and sell them, because I'm getting a pile. Got a whole bunch of different chisels here. 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch firmer. Not sure who made that one. Gouge. Buck Brothers. Not sure who that one is. Not sure who that one is. Looks like a small butcher. Gouge. That's a Witherby gouge. This one I got just to sacrifice the handle. Hopefully that'll go in the Witherby okay. Got a 1 1/4 inch buck, although the handle is compromised on it. Here we got a really nice hand-forged slate roof hammer. But the only issue is what's lurking under the tape there at the end of the handle. But boy, this is one pretty tool. One that it will be when I get done with it. Looks to be a hand-forged farrier's hoof knife. Definitely has some bit of barn on it. And what else is in this pile? Oh yeah, it looks like a user-made tap holder. But again, nicely done, in pretty good shape. And this tool, which I have no clue on, it's called Patent Applied 4. It's got a hammer face, it's got a little tack lifter, a little punch on it, and you squeeze the ring and it does something. I doubt it's for pulling oil filters, but who knows? So, anyways, hey, better pickings than it's been in a while. Well, considering the weather outside with the smoke and all that, the Wednesday's flea market wasn't too bad for picking wise. As a matter of fact, it was surprisingly good. Quick look here. We got a 4-pound AFA sledgehammer head. That'll clean up okay. This is a Warren blacksmith hot cut. It's Warren's a long-time railroad tool maker. This is a hand-forged one. Needs a little help. A small Federal perfect handle screwdriver. I usually see the bigger ones, but not too many of the smaller ones. Chamfer shave. I don't know if this is a Stanley or not. It's not marked. Got 2 fences for Stanley chamfer shaves. Not in great shape, but right sides. Always find the rights, right? A 2-inch Stanley 720 chisel. It's going to need some help on the socket. A hand-forged claw hammer with the original oval handle. Don't know if that's salvageable or not. It's got a little chipping on it. Got a small gouge here. Couple of hand-forged oyster clam shucking knives. These things ain't not been showing up much at all. A little shot dipper. This is signed. Again, I should have the reading glasses on, but it's not too bad. Neat European style or French style cobbler's hammer. Got a lot of garbage holding that head on, but yeah, it's not the worst I've seen, but it might be the closest. But it's on tight, and I probably ain't gonna mess with it. Oak wooden fid needs a little help. A hide utility knife. 3 more chisels over here. a couple of 1/8 inchers, and a Pexto 3/8 of an inch bevel sight firmer. Handles for a couple of them, but they're not in great shape, so I don't know if they can be saved. This is a Brown and Sharp. Oh, I guess it's an 802 inside caliper. Needs some cleaning. A leather roll. Mainly bought it for the tip because I got lots of nice handles with not many tips. A solid handle gimlet. You know, handles cast iron. You don't see too many of these bigger ones around with that. This is a 2.5 inch Butcher firmer chisel. This one's kind of ugly, so I'm not sure how well it's going to come out of the cleaning, and handle's definitely shot. And a ruler. Oops, got upside down. Again, yeah, those are fun just for me to nuts around with. I don't know how well it'll clean up, but we'll give it a try. And last, the catch of the day, this John Barber straight razor. 1820s to 1840s English, in not bad shape. The blade's got a little staining on it. Looks to be the original handle. Tortoise scales or whatever, horn maybe. Yeah, that'll take some very light cleaning, but that's a real find. So, as always, just more work to do. Well, that's all for this one, folks. I hope you learned something, as I said in the beginning. And as always, if you like what you're seeing, please hit that subscribe button to be notified when new videos are posted. Thanks for watching, and bye.